Drew Schock,
And spell your last name.
S-C-H-O-C-K.
And sir, how did you know Uriel?
She was my daughter.
Okay. Is there a statement that you'd like to make to the judge concerning?
Yes, sir, I do. And I don't know how easy this is going to be for me. I'm supposed to come up here and really explain to you about my child. We've been doing this for the past 2 years. It's been tough on my wife and myself and our son, and now we have another daughter. And you know, we're basically trying to put a price on my child's life with time. And I had all these notes and everything, and I'm up here now, and I just, but basically what we're doing is we're justifying my child with time served in prison. And a lot of you know here, this is not the first time this has happened. This is the second time. Fortunately, we weren't able to make that case with the jurors due to circumstances, but everybody in here knows that this is not the first time this has happened. But I'm going to keep this about her because that's what this is about. It's about my daughter. She was born on March 5th, and she was a blessing to my wife and to myself and my son. 2 months before that, we had lost our son, and it was devastating. My wife was 6 months pregnant with our daughter during that time, and it was really hard for us because she was trying to take care of our daughter, who was, 6 months pregnant, and trying to grieve for our son. And when our daughter was born, she was born into grief. But she was a blessing. She kept us because we were looking forward to her. Despite everything that was happening, we were looking forward to her taking away a lot of that pain. And she did. Yeah, we protected her more than you can imagine. As parents, when you lose a child, you become helicopter parents. You think about all these scenarios. So let me watch over her, let me protect her from this, because you have this living in the back of your mind with our son. And we were very diligent and vigilant with her. My wife and I actually got together when our daughter was born, and we set parameters because of what had happened prior. We told ourselves and said, hey, look, once she gets up to where she can move and walk, we're going to go ahead and restrict her from this location because of past circumstances with our other son. We were nervous about her getting out and around, and when something like this happened, you recede all the way back. You want to protect everything. You put fences around it. We put fences around our oldest son. We wouldn't allow him back over there because of the situation here. But it doesn't matter, no matter how hard you try. There's just some things that you don't think about. And we, as parents, have to live with that for the rest of our lives. Like I said, no matter what we do or what we say, I'm always going to feel responsible because these are my children. I am responsible for them. So we're going to carry this, and I'm always going to think about what if. So if I wish I would have done this or done that, or if we would have known details about the prior one, if we would have But all that is it's too little too late. You know, she was our blessing. You know, when she was born, she was our angel child. She looked so much like her son, it was ridiculous. We seen him every time we looked at her. She looked at us and it would just cut right through us, and we took that like it was God saying, here you go, here's your other shot. You know what I mean? I know this happened, but I'm gonna make this daughter look just like him, and you guys are gonna have this. And it was taken from us. Like I said, it's tough. My wife and I sat here through all these court proceedings, and we had to sit here and listen to people speak as if they knew what was going on, as if they knew what was happening, and none of these people had a clue. Now, once they asked us, hey, Drew, what happened? Hey, what really happened? That's what I would have loved to have told them. How everything happened, how everything went down, because it was not how it was portrayed in the courtrooms. And I was planning on coming here and explaining all that. But in the end, like I said, the result's the same. I'm standing up here in front of you guys, defending my children from a woman who took them away from us. To me, that's insane. It's insane. She's done this twice. And the fact that we're debating whether or not she deserves jail time is just insane to me. She took 2 lives. To me, it's black and white. But my wife and I are the ones who are going to have to live with this. They can go and do what they want to do. 20 days locked up. They're done, forgot all about my children. Forgotten all about them within 20 days. Like it never happened. Going off, doing their own thing, living their own life. Making her own friends. She's not grieving. Not at all. This is the pain that my wife and I wear. Nobody else. We're here for justice. That's what we're here for. For the memory of my kids. I just ask the judge, don't let this be in vain. Because I got a son who still asks about his sister, who still asks about his brother. And as parents, we still haven't told them. But now my son's asking me what happened. And as a parent, that's the hardest thing. Because he's wondering, Dad, why'd you let it happen? I tell myself, son, I don't know. We didn't see it coming. We didn't expect it. We didn't think that this would be something that would happen. Not once, but twice. I remember when our daughter was born in the hospital. All the pain that my wife and I were going through, it just faded. When we looked into our daughter's eyes, it just melted. And I can tell you this, as a father, I love my sons. They are our future, and they are my future generations, but I remember looking into my daughter's eyes as a father. This is so much different. The love a father has for his daughter, I can't explain it. I'm not saying I love my daughters more than my son, but God, she could wrap me around that finger so fast. My son, I tear his butt up, when he's doing something wrong. I remember my wife went to try to get on my daughter over something silly. It wasn't nothing. She was being, and when she said, I remember coming almost unglued just because it was Daddy's girl, and it wasn't nothing major, but I don't ever remember doing that over my sons. Like I said, with my daughter, to have that taken away. Now that we have our other daughter, as a parent, it scares me. Because I thought I knew the people that I was sending my child with. I thought I knew them. So much was kept from us. If we had been made aware, we would have made other arrangements. If we'd have been made aware of the medications, if we'd have been made aware of, we would have done things differently. And I blame myself because part of that was just wanting to really believe that she was different. I didn't want to tear apart a family after going through so much with this. I didn't want to destroy this. This is my wife's family. Like I said, they had their house dedicated for kids. They had a room set aside especially for kids. And I didn't want to take that from my son. And I wanted my daughter to have that. Now that's pipe dream. She was a blessing. I have planned on going through and that day, but I can't still be up here and talk. We've had to relive that moment every single day. Every time it's in the paper, we had to relive it. Every time it's just so for me to sit up here and talk about that day. I'm not. Everybody was familiar with what happened. Everybody. I just want you to know that as parents, what would you guys do in my position as a parent if this happened? Not once, but twice. All we can do as parents is try to see it through. That's all we can do. Just make sure that this doesn't happen again. Because nobody thought it would happen the second time. But I'll be damned if I'm going to stand by and let this pass me by and let this continue to happen. Like you said, we're fighting for our kids' names. We're fighting for their memory. And for somebody to just walk away, to think they just deserve to just walk away after what they've done to my family, to my son. It's insane. I said, I can't fathom it. To be able to do this to some kids and act like it wasn't your fault, like it was. Just blaming somebody else. Not once have we got an apology. Not once have they said, Drew, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what we did to your family. I'm sorry. Not once. Because any of this. I just want you to know that I'm going to continue to carry their memory the best the way I know how. I'm going to continue to raise my sons and raise my daughters to do what's right, to be God-fearing children. I had some moments where I questioned everything. When you go through stuff like this, you question everything. Question your faith, you question everything that you believe because you just couldn't imagine. And through that, you just, God brings you a daughter like we have now, Adrian. And like you said, when she was born, she looks just like my son and my daughter. It's the craziest mixture. But I see both of our kids in her now. And it's hard for me to still question everything because in the strange way, God has a sense of humor. He gave me what I lost and put it in this little girl who has me wrapped around her finger. And right now she's about the age that we lost Uriel. And I see her and I see my daughter in her. I think about that accident. I think about how you can do that. We live in Florida. It's hot all the time. I know everybody knows it. You leave your car parked in the parking lot for an hour. You go to get in it. You imagine how fucking hot it is in that car. Hey, you get in, you go to the grocery store. 30 minutes. You get out and it's blistering inside that car. Every time I do that, I think about what my daughter went through for hours by herself, screaming. Can't not think about that. For what? For what? In a hurry? But I'm reminded by that every single day. Because every single day is that temperature. And every single day I get into my truck and I feel that and I think of my daughter and my heart breaks. Because I can't imagine. But I have to because she did. She sat there and suffered and screamed and flailed. We had already gotten to the scene. Everything was packed up. We went to the hospital. And that's a sight you don't ever take back. Something you don't ever unsee. The love of your life laying there 11 months before, 11 months after, going through the same thing. It's deja vu. So Judge Adam, as a parent, I said, we weren't able to get all the facts out to the jury like we should have. Because nobody in their right mind would let this happen twice. Twice. So we just asked that you would just think about this when you sentence. I'm not going to tell you how to do your job. You do it better than I do. All I can tell you is that this is something that we will have to suffer with for the rest of our lives. My son no longer has a brother or a sister. Taken away. And that's something that we're going to have to live with for the rest of our lives. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything from the defense?
That's right.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Schock. Next witness, stay.